All right, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome to yet another Friday. And as you can see, we're starting off today's stream no cam because my house is currently under construction. Yay! So it's been very fun trying to be acclimated into a space that's not my usual setup. And it's just kind of complicated right now. I have a little bit more space in some places, a little less space in some places, but thankfully, the way that things are moving on track, it looks like this is the only Friday that I'm going to have to do this, and then we'll be right back to our regular content and stuff on the channel next week after we get everything done. So at least when it comes to the stream, I should be back in my regular setup for the stream because I do want to be on camera for you guys, but right now it's just not working out. So otherwise, what we're going to do today, I also got a sick kid, so I'm going to try to keep this a short stream. Well, not too short. We may get into a little bit of gameplay if I can get that to work out, but I do want to go over all this freaking news. Dude, we have so much. It's just information overload. We have buffs and nerfs and new team ups, and we have new hero abilities coming in, and we have all these different things at once. And now we know we're going to have a new character every month, 2 month seasons, and it's just, this is going to be crazy. I don't know how long they can keep up with this, but I sat down and I took myself some notes about what's been going on with Emma here, and I wanted to show this to you guys to start the stream off. We're going to go through this VOD that she has of her little ability showcase, and I know they're doing like the early live like testing right now with the streamers that have early access, but it looks like they got a lot of their stuff out of the way before we got to the stream because I was going to spectate a little bit and see what they're doing. But you know, if you want to go watch them, you can go watch them. Otherwise, we're going to do a quick breakdown here, and let me get my notes together for you guys because I took notes. Yeah, that's right. Just like when I do my regular videos and I write a script, I actually sat down and I organized my thoughts. Oh man, of course I have to download this. Give me a moment here. Give me a moment. The new setup right now also includes me getting on the iPad to get a second screen going because now I'm down to one screen, so I'm going back and forth with all these things, and now I'm showcasing my web screen for you guys, so that's even one less screen that I can work with on the offhand here. Let's see. And just so you know, if you do type in the chat, it may take me a second to see it just because I don't have my usual view of the chat up right now. I'll try to take a moment to like check in between points and stuff just in case I have to address some questions or somebody else's thoughts that they have about these new updates and stuff. But as of right now, that's how it is. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Now I can't even get to my notes, man. This sucks. This really sucks. All right, hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to do something. All right, got it together here. Thought I had everything ready. One more thing. If it ain't one thing, it's another. But here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get this pulled up. Whoa, already starting to play.
The Zoshio weapon.
Whoa, we looking at Tone. Look at this man making a jump scare into this the stream. Y'all check out my boy Tone. He's got good content. All right. There we go. Now we can navigate some things. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to watch it all the way through first. And then we're going to go back and we're going to do like some play-by-plays and talk about some of the things that some people probably just haven't even noticed about what's going on with this character. Because she's going to be crazy. I'm going to say it right now. This is going to be a crazy addition to just the tank roster, and I am so glad that we finally got. I mean, don't get me wrong, the thing is a great tank as well. He's got a whole different playstyle that he's allowed to actually kind of take over the meta for when it comes to just the way that team compositions are set up in comp right now. And he's good against anti-dives. He's good about making space and being able to tag team with more aggressive tanks as well. And he builds his ult so fast. But when it comes to having somebody that can handle flyers and can be a little bit more maneuverable, and he doesn't really protect his team that well. He goes out and he's the, somebody that can handle and take aggro. But when it comes to handling flyers and protecting the team and having a shield, it's kind of hard to only do that with Magneto. You can do a little bit of it with Strange, but Strange ain't taking out no flyers. Now, this chick right here, she's about to be so good. I don't know how much the range is, but I'm going to shut up. We're going to go ahead and we're going to watch it.
The White Queen's reign begins. You deserve that, dear. Mind crush. You were beneath me. Impervious. Pathetic. How embarrassing. Kneel, peasants! That's White Queen mind control.
So nuts, dude. So nuts. So, first things first, right? Let's get on in here. So, this beam attack, look at it. Everybody is kind of like thinking that it's going to act like kind of with Scarlet Witch and with Cloak and Dagger, how it's going to be an auto-tracking beam. That is not the case, right? So, let me actually see if I can increase the... There we go. Get some kind of better resolution here. So if you look at this, she goes to shoot Iron Man, but it doesn't auto track. Same thing with Luna, a tiny target like Luna. It's just a laser beam. So kind of like Iron Man's beam attack, actually. It's exactly the same where you can shoot that out, but it's not going to auto track. And it does have, it looks like, I don't know, that looks like 15 meters of range, which isn't a lot. And when it comes to handling flyers, it's not going to happen. But I say it's going to be helpful, or she's going to be helpful with handling flyers for a whole different reason. But we're going to get to that later. So, primary attack, it's got this beam, but it doesn't auto-track. So that's something that you don't have to worry about. And it's ranged, but it's not like super ranged, like Groot here. Now, that's the second point here. This ability, this shit is nuts, man. This is absolutely nuts. So, what it's going to do... It's hard to see in this clip. Actually, I have a better clip. It was in, let's see here. I had it in my likes. Boop, boop, boop. So it was this clip from Boger right here. Check this out. This is a better example of how this ability works. So this little crystal target, it's actually like, it's like a soul rend, right? So it rips out of whoever you're targeting, and it think of it like Doctor Strange, where you can attack both the main person and you can attack the soul rended target. And what happens is when you, I'm assuming, when you destroy this little totem, when you destroy this little crystal totem of the target, it does like a double damage feedback because it does that with Groot a little bit. And that's why I thought it was an explosive.
Yeah, I mean, it is
So-
quite decent. Like, I think it's quite okay. I think it's 2 left clicks and a right click. So if I
So this is just a little bit of a combo that she has going on,
yeah, so you can instantly kill support.
going into that melee mode. But whenever you take out that soul rend, he's using the soul rend to do basically double damage. And the way I originally thought is that you had to do damage that would pass through the golems in order to get that double damage off. The shield up in the back, I don't really understand. I wonder if that's like a Destiny 2 Titan barricade kind of thing, where if you walk through it, you take a little bit of damage. Let's see.
Like, I think
Yeah, no, it didn't look like she took like any tick damage through there.
So if
I wonder if she has like some kind of passive where when she's around crystal structures, she gets...
yeah, so you can instantly kill support.
Huh. Hold on, did you... I wonder if you guys saw that. Hold on. When he had this ability up,
Yeah,
he had
so
some sort of
you
blue
can
ring
instantly
around
kill
him.
support.
Where was it at? See, this right here. You have this blue ring around you, so I'm wondering if she has like some sort of passive that increases her stats based off of her like distance to crystal structures or diamond structures that she makes, kind of like how Groot does. Because now, let's see in the beginning if he had that up too.
So what is it?
So yeah, no blue ring, but he was still able to do the combo attack here.
Quite decent.
So now, the shield's up,
Like,
we have
I
that
think it's quite
blue.
okay. I think it's 2 I think it's quite
Maybe
okay.
that's the
Like,
distance
I think it's
from the spirit rend.
like
Yeah, I think that's just the distance of effectiveness of the little golem. Let me see if I can get him with the... Yep. Because the shield is up right here. The shield is up, but there's no blue ring. And then the moment you drop that, now you have the blue ring. So this must be like the maximum range of effectiveness. So if you have like a Spider-Man or like a Venom, somebody that has a really quick escape, Squirrel Girl, if you can get out of this blue ring, I guess you don't take that double damage or whatever damage that you're getting from it. Now, let's go back over to YouTube here. This is what I was getting at with this clip here. If you watch it, drops the Spirit Rend, attacks through the Spirit Rend to hit Groot, it looks like. It's crazy, actually. It's just, it's doing this little tick damage. Let me see if I can slow this down, too. Slow it down to half, right? So if we go here, right here, this is what I'm talking about. It does this little explosion because he's now kind of matching in health with it. I don't know if it's like a one-to-one representation of the health or if it's doing double damage. But once this thing explodes, all of a sudden Groot gets chunked. So see, it explodes and now he lost this big bar of health as soon as that thing destroyed. So tick, tick, tick. Right before the explosion, chunk, gone. Insane. I wonder if that's like a proportional to health kind of thing, or if we're watching her just shoot through both Groot and the target, if it's tied to the target itself exploding. I believe there's one more thing that I had here from Boger. That's that. This. That was probably it there. This is more just the hero balance adjustments. I believe it was a clip from Boger, but one of these clips, he was standing in front of or somebody was standing in front of one of the little bots, and then they were able to put that little soul rend out, just destroy the soul rend, and then it would destroy the bot at the same time. But I didn't get to see, or I don't remember at least, whether or not it was the soul rend bot that died first because of the thing was out, or if there was some kind of exposure damage with that. This is the best example so far that we've seen with Groot. So I just wonder how that's going to work out. But it looks like when it comes to boxing, like 1v1ing tanks, she ain't gonna be the one to play with, brother. She's not gonna be the one. Let's see here. Checking my other notes here. Oh, another thing. This shield. Oh. Let's get it back to normal speed here. So this shield that she has, not only does it have 475 health, right, on its own, and she already has 650. So she's like pocket shield tank, just like Doctor Strange. She's so awesome. I'm so excited to play this character, man. She is so awesome. So she's got a little pocket shield, 475 health. When she goes to place it, check this out. Right through the floor. Like, what is that? Just right through the floor. And then you saw how that went down, right? Watch in the corner here what happens to her cooldown. Another thing about her too, if you notice all her cooldowns, none of them are longer than 6 seconds. Like, there's not a single cooldown that she has that is longer than 6 seconds, besides her ult, obviously. But she can combo all of her abilities very, very quickly. So, hold on. We have the shield up. She launches it. 4 seconds. It gets destroyed. It's back to 4 seconds again. Let's do this one more time here. Gets destroyed. Back to 4 seconds. Throws it. 4 seconds up. It starts its cooldown. Back to 4 seconds again. So I wonder if she has kind of like Invisible Woman, right? Invisible Woman's shield. You can place it, but once it's placed, it's placed. So it doesn't come back until you destroy it. That's why when you're using Invisible Woman, you want to throw that shield down a bunch of different times and then find like an ally that's close or somebody that's around you, so that way you can get it out of the way and keep people from destroying it, so you can keep using it to do your chunk heal. So with her, I wonder if it's like you can put it down, use it to block some damage, pull it back, kind of like a Penny Parker nest kind of trick where you can get a shorter cooldown depending on how much damage is taken. But either way, she was able to block all of this and get it back in time to block an Iron Man ult. Takes out the Punisher, turn around, it's back, bam. Now we have a wall. And of course it's going to block it because it's a wall. I do the same thing with Groot wall sometimes. Well, I'll just throw up an Ironwood wall whenever I want to block an enemy ult, and it'll just tank it for me. Let's turn this back to normal. It's a crazy shield. It is so crazy. Not even Doctor Strange's shit comes back that fast. I feel like, at least. And it came back at full health. It wasn't just a general recharge. That was 475 on the dot. Dropped it. 4 more seconds, you got 475 right back. Now this was fun. Hold on. This right here was really fun to kind of figure out. So check this out, right? So she has her Impervious, which we've seen a good bit of times now. Whenever she goes into Impervious, changes the whole moveset. Think C and D swap, right? You go over to your next character, you have a whole different moveset, whole different abilities. So you do her ability, it looks like it's infinite because it doesn't have a cooldown in any of the examples that we've seen so far. But what it looks like, the trade-off for having that infinite basically setup here in this damage resistance is that you have to be slower. It looks like her movement speed goes down, and she doesn't have any ranged attacks. She's 100% brawler at this point. Everything she has to do is close range, which is awesome. Which is freaking awesome. Because that is a shield tank's #1 weakness, is whenever you go against other brawler tanks, and you're just taking all that melee damage at 100% right through your shields are useless. That's what I always hated about playing Magneto and playing Strange, because when people understood that and the Thing came through, and people understood that the Thing can help you just basically chain those melee combos and peel those tanks away so much easier and charge his ult at the same time, it just made using a shield tank just almost obsolete. That's why we hardly see them anymore. But when you're using her, you want to get up close, you want to melee me, I don't give a damn. I'm going to change into my, what is this called? My impervious mode. Get some damage resistance, and I'm going to brawl with you. We're going to throw hands together. So if you look at this clip right here, this Black Panther, he's in his boosted state, right? He has his plus 20% damage boost from being below 100 health. When he does this, I'm only counting this last hit because this is when he's going to do the max damage, but you're going to see this HP go down from, let's see here, I believe it's like 395 to 68 or 368 or something like that. Hold on, let's do this math real quick. So, yep, that was the hit that I was looking at. So the 395, she already got him down. So we're at 368, and he had got that hit in, and he's already below half health. That's the max damage that he's going to do, because after this, he doesn't even get to hit her again. She just dies. So, or I believe he does. 368 to 41. Yeah, that's still 27. So he's doing 27 damage at this point, right? So this man, when he does his normal melee attack, it's 35 damage, plus the 20% damage boost. So he should be doing 42 damage a slash right now. He's only doing 27 to her, because she has, I did the math, it's like a 35% damage resistance, which is huge. Huge. So that gives her a bunch of sustain. Of course, if she's getting team fired, it doesn't matter. And I wonder if that's only damage resistance to melees, because we haven't seen her taking any damage in this form from a projectile yet. But that would be a very interesting kind of dichotomy to the character, right? So you have her with her shield. She can block projectiles. She can block any projectile. And then she has her impervious form, where she's more resistant to melee damage because she's tough as diamond, but she can still take a lot more or regular damage from a projectile. That would be really, really cool. But that's my speculation right there. I just wanted to know like exactly what that damage resistance was looking like when she goes into that brawl mode, and that 35% damage resistance is awesome. And then of course, as we saw earlier, she has her little Street Fighter melee combo, grab, throw. It's just nuts. Just nuts. Here it is. Grab, throw, kick. Something I wanted to note about this, I wonder if this counts as like a stun to an ult. I wonder if she can do this dash. Hold on. I wonder if she can do this dash like in the air towards somebody. Yep, that's a little, it's got a little dash to it. It's got a little dash. She had to close the distance. Bam. Kick. That's a stun and displacement at the same time. At the same time. That's so crazy. I know it's two different moves though. Yeah, because this is her kick, and then this is her throw. So she now becomes a brawler with a stun and a throw. And what's the cooldown on those? Okay, that was unlimited. 5 seconds. 3 seconds. What? She has a 5-second cooldown on this one, and then a 3-second cooldown on this one. That is so great. Holy crap. She is going to be, this is going to be such a technique heavy character. Like the skill gap on her is going to be huge. Huge, huge, huge. I'm so excited for this. So excited. She's got like strategist like abilities right now. So, and then of course we're looking at the mind control thing that we all saw. That's the first thing that gravitates towards you. The thing I wanted to note about this though. So check that out. When she goes to grab them, they get these little diamonds above their head, then this diamond needs to charge. So, see that? You have a little charge time. It took like, I don't know, like 1.5 seconds for them to get completely mind controlled before they're drugged. So pretty much, I don't know how far this spell field goes out. It looks like she's only like, once again, 15 meters, maybe 20 meters max away from these guys. But the spell field goes all the way out here. I wonder if that's just there as a way to, once you notice that you're getting hit, if your reaction speed's fast enough, you can get the heck up out of that and not get drug off the map or whatever. That's pretty much, I'm assuming what that is, because if she had like an instant taunt, like an instant stun lock where she pulls you towards her for her ult, I would probably crash out. But this is really, really cool. Like, imagine, all right, I'm going to signal I got my ult. I grab the enemy team. I pull them off point. Now I have them clustered up going towards me. I don't know if they were walking, like, if they were coming down at her, like, towards a straight line, or if they were all funneling in towards the light. Let's see here. Let's check everybody's position. It looks like they're funneling, because they're pretty spread out. Walk, walk, walk. Yeah, they're funneling. Oh, so you can pull everybody in for a group, and then bam, Moon Knight, Kraken Impact, what? Maximum Pulse, whatever you want to do, whatever like huge group AoE attack you want to do, you can do it. Or better yet, just pull everybody off of point whenever you're in those last seconds of pretty much the final stand for pushing a convoy or for holding point on domination, whatever it is that you're trying to do. This is so strong. And I wonder if it affects other people in their ult too. So let's say a Magic's going crazy. I'm sure she would be affected by it. I don't think there's a reason why she wouldn't be. But that's for however long this lasts. I don't think we've seen it end yet. But for however long this lasts, that's just complete mind control. That's just a complete stun lock. And asking your team or 3 people, maybe even more people, to just sit still, essentially, even though they're walking towards you. But you might as well just be sitting still and not even looking at your team. Get in the back line. Make everybody turn away for a second. And then the rest of your team, if you're front lining with somebody else, which this looks like the kind of character that you probably wouldn't want to solo tank on because she has a lot of off-tank-like abilities, she would be a lot better being teamed up with somebody like Magneto, which brings us into our next little subject here. The team ups. Hold on, I'm gonna let y'all see this again.
Queen mind control.
Brother.
That's White Queen mind control.
What's all that movement? What is all that movement? That is insane. Good lord, this game. So crazy. So let's see the team up. Here, check this shit out, dude. Oh, I love it. I love it. Shield tanks are back on the menu. Hold on, before we go on, let me check. Let me check something real quick. All right. Shield tanks, man, back on the menu. 100% back on the menu. And I'm sorry that this playback quality is so terrible, but Twitter does what Twitter does. So check this out. Magneto and Psylocke team up. You can absolutely destroy people with this because you have 2 Magnetos at the same time, 2 Psylocks at the same time. Double turret attack, double banner, double bubble. Dude. And Magneto's attacks are AoE. And they do like, man, they're chunky. They do like 55 damage a pop. So this poor Mantis just got hit with, what is that, 110? 110 twice? Oh my god.
Okay, thank God it can.
Can't ult.
So it doesn't do full damage.
And I was so sad that they took away his team up with Scarlet Witch, but this is so much better.
And then you can double bubble.
Wait a second, hold on.
And then you can double bubble.
So you can use Magneto's shield, give it to somebody else, and or maybe he just has the abilities off. Yeah, he just had the abilities off. Okay, never mind. That would have been crazy if you could have like given it to somebody else twice.
Magneto is quite good now. And
But you see how he just made a wall of himself right there?
I think
Check this shit out. Look at this. Imagine, dude. What the hell? Because your clone is basically, it's doing a mirror movement of you, right? So when he weaves himself together and then you're stacked up like this, brother, that's 650 health, or maybe it doesn't have the same health. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. But at minimum 650 health, we'll say, or maybe at maximum 650 health. And then you have 300 from the bubble, just for whatever that lasts for. Like, what, 3 seconds now? Just a wall a wall, but all at the same time still pumping out that 110 damage from those primaries at 25 meters.
Wait, this is actually I think
Brother.
Magneto is quite good now.
Brother. Oh, I'm so glad that I'm so close to Lord with Magneto.
How long does it last?
We'll definitely hit it next season. I had to give him a break this season because he was getting poo-pooed on by the thing.
Yeah, it has actually.
And then imagine doing all this. Brother, you have... Wait, how long is that team up?
You can double.
How long is the cooldown on it? I don't think we're going to see it because I don't think he takes it off of unlimited
So if I do
abilities. Look at this. Psylocke, there's no question. There's no question. Actually, there is one question. There's one question, and that's when she does her ability to throw out the needles that return back to her, right? If you do that with your clone, we all know that if you throw out those needles and dash, the needles will dash over to wherever you end up as well. Can you mirror focus that with your clone? And then say like you have your position here, your clone's position here, dash or needle, you dash this way, they dash this way, and then your needles just pew, more damage. Bow bow. Go across. Let's see.
supports. If you need a shoulder to cross. So if I do this.
Bro.
Hey guy.
He didn't even get a big enough target to figure that out with
if I
yet.
do this.
Brother, I don't even know. This is nuts. This is nuts. And now I understand why they did that team comp with Namor and Thor, or not Thor, Namor and Hulk over having him with Luna, because you're gonna need something to counteract this, and this is nuts. This is so crazy. Just doubling your damage. I need to know what that cooldown is. I can't imagine that it's any shorter than 30 seconds. The one that she has with, who is it, Scarlet Witch, that has the same ability or a team up with her? That one is also 30 seconds. No, that's actually Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange. And it's 30 seconds. And that one is also crazy. Holy crap. Let me see. Was there anything else that I'd say for you guys that I wanted to see?
No. No, if you hit me for long enough, I am 100%.
Wait, you're just stuck in
I'm
there?
stuck.
So this is just the other POV. That's right.
Look, I'm in. I mean, I can't even I can't even shoot anymore.
You can't dash or anything?
Look. Yeah, no, do it again. Right. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, we'll do it when you're full health.
Mind, body,
I cannot do anything. It's a silence. It's silence.
Brother, it's a
You're completely
full
silenced.
stun.
Wait, try to...
And from this POV, you can't
What
see
else?
the
Yeah,
little
we're talking rocket.
the little
I mean,
diamond
obviously,
above
I'm
your
not doing
head.
anything.
Wait, what do you mean? Does he? Yeah.
I'm waiting. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Walk into you.
Wow.
It turns my
Yeah.
character around, bro.
So nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I walked into you.
Full stun.
It turns
Full
my
stun.
character around, bro. No. No, if you hit me for
Look at
long
that.
enough,
Look at
I
how
am
far that
100%.
goes.
Wait, you're just stuck in
I'm
there?
stuck.
Bro, that spell field is
Look, I'm in. I mean,
huge.
I can't even shoot anymore.
You can't dash or anything?
Look. Yeah, no, do it again. Right. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I
when
wonder
you're full
if it's slower to build up that diamond the farther away you are from her too.
I cannot do anything.
health.
It's a silence.
just
It's
stuck.
silence. You're completely silent.
Interesting.
Wait, try to...
the enemy has
That's wild. What else? Hang on. Let me see if I can rock it. I mean, obviously, I won't be able to do anything.
Wait, what do you mean? Does he? Yeah.
I'm waiting.
It tries to run away.
Wow.
It turns my
Yeah.
character
Just
around, bro.
immediately turns around. That is so crazy. Oh my god, this is gonna be such a good season. Brothers, this is gonna be a good season. Alright, so next part of this, we're gonna go through some of the balance passes. Whoa. Don't know if anything happened to the mic there. That was a little crazy. Alright. So let's check out what's going on with some of these balance passes when it comes to changes to heroes that we're going to expect. And let's talk about maybe why or why not they're doing these things and how we're probably going to be seeing some changes in how these heroes are played. So first things first, we got with Captain America. His health is going up to, or from 675 to 650, but he also has the health of his shield going down from 400 to 350. And I think that his overall resilience just needs to go down because Thor's is going up. And that combo together is actually extremely annoying. Like a good cap is really hard to kill because he has the fastest like get in and get out kind of dive other than Venom, but he can do it whenever he wants to since that sprint is unlimited, and he's the fastest character in the game. I'm pretty sure whenever he has that sprint going. So yeah, he's definitely gonna need to see just a little bit of killability happening on his side, and he has that new team up too. And I believe with him as an anchor, he gets another 100 health or something like that whenever he has a Bucky on the team. So you really shouldn't feel that health change too bad because it's only 25, but it's definitely needed. It's helpful for Captain America to be taken down like that. Doctor Strange. Oh, poor Doctor Strange. He lost his team up. He's not doing as much damage anymore from his regular attack. And his Maelstrom of Madness isn't being converted as much. Essentially, just overall damage reduction on Doctor Strange. Complete overall damage reduction. And I think that's also because of his team up with Bruce Banner being super, super, super strong. Like, it's so good. Especially when you know how to do the little combo attack with Doctor Strange to build up your Maelstrom, to do your melee, to do your regular attack. And then you do that gamma, like, boosted expulsion. It's a quick kill. Quick kill. Super impressive, honestly, whenever you have a good Hulk on the team, too. And then Hulk needed this, man. He needed this. And I've played a very good Hulk. And they're scary. So if we see a lot more of them popping up, especially if they're not going to get banned as much, now they don't have the same team up with Doctor Strange. They may get banned because of the team up with Iron Man. But now they don't have that with Doctor Strange. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be hell because look at this movement speed going up from 600 to 650 just at base. So his walk is a little faster. His indestructible guard is going down though, and that's that little shield he throws up. But his leap is now a lot faster. So just to get to the minimum charge time, just to get it activated, I've seen Hulks basically bunny hop. Like they go in, attack, bunny hop, bunny hop, bunny hop, bunny hop. That's how I was dropped by that. I mean, this Hulk dropped like 53 kills in a game, man. It was insane. It was just terrifying. Magneto basically just increasing his ult time, which I don't understand why. Well, no. Yep, I understand why. If he's got that team up with Emma, then he's going to be building his ult way faster, and his ult is still going to be good. It's still going to be strong in terms of a shutdown. So yeah, they're just preemptively nerfing him for that. Penny Parker, my girl. Yes, sir. We're finally getting that Penny Parker update. Let's go. So we're going to get a chance to crit. I've been excited to talk about this. We now can crit with the primary, which is unlimited. And when you crit, you're doing double damage. So now she has more offense. And then she's also going to reduce her speed penalty from shooting. If you play Penny a lot, you know that the moment you start shooting, you do this slow bot walk. So you want to be in the web so that way you can kind of strafe and shoot at the same time. Usually whenever I'm assaulting, whoa, that was a weird way to phrase that. Whenever I'm attacking somebody and they have and I'm 1v1ing with Penny, I'm usually always in a web anyway, and I throw one down at my feet if I can. But for those times that you're caught outside of it, it's helpful to not be stuck in just robot mode and just bot walking like a, something out of like a Megazord out of Power Rangers or some crap. But base health, it's also going up an extra 100. What I wonder is if her shield is going to still go up to 850 max, or if they increase the amount and it's going to go up to, 950? If she still gets the same overshield from standing in her webs. So, more health is nice, but that's going to suck whenever, oh no, it's not 850. I think it goes up to 800. Like at max with her shield, it goes up to 800. So that's another 150? So that means it will just go up to 900. So, yeah, it's going to suck because it doesn't change how fast she gets her health back in her webs. It only changes how fast she gets her shields back. So she essentially would get less of a shield recharge if you're trying to duke it out in one of your webs and you're trying to bank on out healing the damage from your shield versus taking it to your health. So it is what it is. Let's see. The thing. His battle leap. Embattlement leap is damage reduced to his teammates. It's reduced from 30% to 25%. So less damage reduction that he gets from that. Thor, here's the buffs that we were talking about. He's going to get health in his, or boost in his survivability. So he's going to have 600 health, and his base movement speed is now also 650. So he's going to be in pace with who? Captain America. Yeah. Wait, no, not Captain America. Who was it? Hulk. There we go. They're going to be moving at the same speed. But yeah, that Cap and Thor team up it's dirty. It is dirty, dirty. Duelist, Black Widow. Finally seeing the Black Widow buff. So she's now getting it to where she basically can directly shoot after the second kick of Edge Dancer, and then after using her ult. So I've never used Black Widow. I don't know how effective that's going to be. I don't know if that's going to be enough. But when she has a Mantis boosting her, she is very useful in the team. And I've been seeing a lot more Black Widow play. So hopefully that will help her out a little bit. And maybe we'll start seeing some changes in who we're choosing for taking out like flyers and things like that, because Hela is all right, but she's getting a nerf in this one. Hawkeye's all right, but he also needs a little bit of help. So let's see what's going on with him. Actually, he's got a mobility wall, improving his mobility while drawing his bow. So the slow effect while charging the bow from 30 to 20%. Increase both instances of damage for the hypersonic arrow from 50 to 55, a little bit more damage. And decrease the energy cost of Hunter's sight. So he's going to get his ult a lot faster too. That's annoying. I know somebody that's going to love that. Right. Hela. So she's also going to get an increase in her cooldown time from Astral Flock. That's when she turns into a bird. So she's going to get that less often. Increase the spell field damage of Piercing Knight from 30 to 35. I believe that's whenever she does the a bunch of the knives and they go and they stick into somebody and they explode a second time, which has killed me many a time as Venom. So that's going to get more damage, and decreases the cooldown time for her Soul Drainer. I believe that's her stun. So she gets her stun a little bit faster to kind of help her be less susceptible to dives, but she doesn't get to run away as fast anymore. And Human Torch, let's see. So they wanted to give him more survivability. Oh, this is actually a really cool buff. So this one down here, increasing the cooldown from Flame Meteor from 12 seconds to 15 seconds, but adding a new effect. After releasing Flaming Meteor, immediately gain 75 bonus health, which will start fall off 3 seconds later at a rate of 30 per second. So that's going to make it a lot better for him to do that dive attack and help him get back out of those situations a lot more. Because a lot of times that I see a Johnny on another team, they're just in the air all the time. I rarely see them dive, honestly. And it's because it's so dangerous. And he doesn't really... You've seen him. He's like a fish out of water in the air. It's crazy. He doesn't really have as much like mobility like Storm does. But Storm has a speed boost that she can give herself. And it makes her a little bit easier because you just click the speed boost to activate it. With Johnny, you either have to hold it down. I guess you can click to activate it too. But his is just vertically. It only improves his ascent. It doesn't really improve his strafe. So this is going to help him out a little bit more when he goes down to kind of do a little bit more damage. And that's how you want to use his primary attack too, because it's a shotgun. So the closer you are, the more damage you're going to do anyway. So that's just going to help him play to his character a lot more. Maybe we'll see a lot more of those in the game here. And then Fire Cluster from 6 seconds to 0.5 seconds. Basically just the attack interval, just making him a little bit faster to attack. He's going to be a menace, honestly. I ain't going to hold you. If people want to play flyers. Iron Man, let's see. His mid-range combat's going to be better. Reduce his hitbox size. Okay. Gain 100 bonus health, activating Armor Overdrive or Gamma. So he gets 100 bonus health? And it'll fall off 5 seconds later at a rate of 30 per second. So it ain't going to last long, but still, that's pretty annoying. I ain't gonna hold you. I think that's pretty annoying to also reduce his hitbox size. I don't think that he was suffering that bad, but we'll see. Iron Fist, poor dude. He has been through the ringer. They've changed his identity like 3 times now. Doesn't get as much max or bonus health from the little heal that he does. But they did slow down the fall off, so it'll last a little longer. So he gets a little bit of a damage increase, but it also scales based on enemy health. So now they're just leaning more into him being a tank buster. So another option outside of Wolverine to bust up tanks, and they're gonna need it when they have Emma on the field. So yeah, that's gonna be nice. Decrease the cooldown from the kick from 12 to 6 or 12 to 10 seconds. That's pretty nice. Let's see, Mr. Fantastic. Call him bombastic. This dude right here. I lied when I said that everybody else is going to be a menace. This man is going to be the menace of menaces. The menace of menaces. He has more bone or base health. He has more damage to his attacks, and he's now going to also give a slow effect. What? Enemies within range now suffer a 35% slow effect. Reduce flexible elongation cooldown from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. Flexible elongation. So the moment he goes into his big boy mode, into Moto mode, the moment he pops that, he's going to basically do like an AoE slow around him within a short range. And that's going to keep people close. So that way you can go ahead and just start smacking them with your arms. Oh, man. I actually smacked the mic. Smacking them with your arms, getting that damage off, which is now doing more damage. Looks like he gets less elasticity from his passive from 30 to 20. But he does get it more from the ability itself, going from 5 to 8. And the bonus health is reduced, which honestly is fair because he's getting a lot more buffs to his damage. And then when he uses his ult, he immediately gains bonus health. So you don't even have to worry about going into the inflated state first. That was always an issue, is that you had to make sure you had charged that up. And then you went into the Brainiac bounce. But I would have liked to see, like, I don't know, some kind of slow effect added to them when you do the Brainiac bounce, just to kind of make it easier for them to target. Because if you've actually played Mr. Fantastic, you have, I don't want to say very little control, but that ult goes crazy really, really fast. Unless you're like in a tight corridor or something. If you have a lot of space, it will move. So it'd be nice to kind of help people or help with the target acquisition when it comes to bouncing directly on top of somebody and getting that damage off if they're like slowed underneath them for some reason. But you're probably still going to want to go into that elasticity state anyway, just to slow them off for rip, just to make it easier to get a kill on that. So I don't know, we'll see. But that's a lot of good stuff from Mr. Fantastic. Moon Knight, like he needed any kind of buff. Oh my god. I say as I play Moon Knight as like my main. He's my main DPS character right now. So the regular attack speed or projectile speed is from 120 to 150. Those are gonna be flying, boy. Which is nice because I always hate the travel distance that falls behind the just primary attack whenever you drop down an Ankh. Usually they can sometimes break your Ankh before you can even finish your combo, so. Wait, whoa, hold on. Wait a second. Gain 25 bonus health with each enemy hit up to a max of 100. 30 seconds or 3 seconds after the bonus health stops increasing, it'll start to fall off at a rate of 20 per second. As long as you are doing damage, you're going to be getting bonus health. What? My man's going to be dueling. He's going to be boxing. Hell yeah. He actually really needs this, man. And they did a little stealth buff too when it comes to his team up with Cloak and Dagger. He can get a little bit of healing off on that. And I believe it's like 150 health or something that's max that he can get out of that bubble now, instead of just sitting there and going invisible inside of a bubble and everybody knowing where you're at, because they can see the bubble. They just can't see you in it. So that's actually really helpful for just whenever you don't have a C&D and whenever you are just trying to play on the floor as Moon Knight, which is the worst, but sometimes it's what you got to do whenever you're being chased down. So that's going to be awesome. That's going to be really awesome. Speed up the hook, so that way whenever you throw it down, oh my god, that's going to be instant. That's going to be damn near instant. Because I hate throwing that. I honestly rarely use the grapple because it sucks. I only use the grapple if I'm trying to get into like positioning, or I pretty much just rely on my double jump whenever I'm trying to get away from somebody. Like I'll double jump first and then I'll grapple up even higher. Extend the duration of Hand to Khonshu. So longer ult. More talons. 4 more talons. So it's a damage fall off mechanic. So I guess, yeah, it's kind of like Namor's, where it does more damage at the center versus at around the edges, which is honestly fair. 70% at 5 meters. Woo! Aiming those bad boys are going to be important now. Aiming them and using your Ankh to draw people into the center. It's going to be super important. But that's, once again, really fair because he can build up his ult so fast. Scarlet Witch. Oh, boy. Oh, man, she's getting so much next season. And I've been using her, too. My God. Reducing her survivability, fair, but increasing her threat against strategists and duelists while optimizing her ultimate ability release experience. So, she doesn't do as much damage, while increasing fixed damage, so percentage damage from 60 to 80, but Chthonian Burst, the projectile goes from 35 to 40, and a spell field damage from 35 to 40. So her phase doesn't last as long, and it has a faster cooldown, though. So it's from... Oh, no, it's increased. Never mind. It has a longer cooldown, and it doesn't last as long anymore. Damn. And the slow effect for reality erasure starting at 1.5 instead of starting immediately with linear increase to 35% slow over 3.5 seconds? There was a slow effect to her ult? Huh. Well, that's interesting. What's really the sauce for her is that team up with Doctor Strange. That is the sauce, boy. God, they gave her a freaking shotgun on a 30-second cooldown. Let's see, we're reducing Peter's damage output and efficiency for his ultimate ability charge rate. Yeah, fair. Because Star-Lord is just, just the ult cop-out. It's hard to play Star-Lord, though. I ain't going to hold you. He's kind of a hard character to kind of pin down, but once you understand, like, you just want to go and you want to charge your ult up as much as possible so you can get those free kills off with auto-tracking ults, then, yeah. Auto-tracking at, like, damn near unlimited range, too. So Blaster's going down from 80 to 75, starting at 4 meters. He's also going to have damage reduction. Nice. Now he gets sniped from freaking across the map. 80% reduction rate at 8 meters. Damn, he's going to be pecking you past 8 meters. Those Star-Lords are going to be forced to get close and personal. All right. We're lowering Bucky's threat level against Vanguards and reducing the margin of error for his ultimate ability. So, which is fair because Bucky was... I'm scared of a good Bucky when it comes to playing Venom. Because Venom, you want to be on the floor with him. You don't want to move much. And Bucky just... Oh my God, dude. Those headshots and that explosive damage. And then he'll hook you. He'll bring you even closer. And it's just... It's nuts. Bucky is crazy. His ult doesn't do as much damage anymore. Oh, okay. 15% lowered the culling threshold. Okay. Gonna make it easier for him to kind of sustain it, but it doesn't do as much damage anymore. Alright. Wolverine. Increased rage gain from Savage Claw hits from 7 to 10. While rage gain from Berserk Claw strike has been increased from 7 to 5. So you don't get as much rage while you're in the Berserk form to keep it going, but you do get more rage from just regularly hitting somebody while your rage isn't all the way up yet. So you can build it up faster. It's just harder to maintain. Reduce rage gain from Feral Leap. Same thing. Harder to maintain that rage state. And from Vicious Rampage from 20 to 15. However, rage gained from taking damage has been increased from 3 to 5. So just from being in the mix, you're going to get more anyway. So they still want you to, do what Wolverine does best. Go in, get somebody, snag them back, go to attack, and if he's getting targeted, it's gonna be a little bit easier to keep that rage up, but it's gonna keep him from being so, or at least as oppressive as he originally was when it comes to taking out enemy tanks and stuff. So fight him wisely. Reduce the time an enemy is knocked down after impact from last stand too. That's nice. Gives him a chance to build up that rage a little bit more too. Strategist. Here we go. My people, my swap offs. Adam Warlock. So it looks like they adjusted the healing provided from his ult after reviving teammates. So his soul bond goes up from 30 to 40, which is fair. Fighting a good Adam with a dive comp is terrible. And his soul bond is actually extremely, extremely strong for just countering a lot of group attacks that aren't like big burst damage, like Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, things like that. But with, say, Darkchild comes at you, soul bond, that's pretty much negated. You have, who else is a melee? Hulk, unless he grabs you, which I actually have a clip of me getting my shit pushed in as Adam. But dude, I survived through like 3 ults because I had soul bonded first. Let's see, Karmic Revival now restores 30% of an ally's health instead of just a fixed 100 health. That's nice because being revived as a tank, man, oh my god. You're praying you're going to make it out of that alive. We're optimizing the logic of this damage for the ultimate's ability for Cloak and Dagger. This is actually a really good one too. After activating Eternal Bond ultimate ability, the duration of the first 3 healing zones will no longer be calculated separately. Instead, they will remain active until the duration of the final zone ends, at which point all will be removed together. That is perfect when it comes to readability for your teammates using using your ult to pretty much stay in the fight. Because as Cloak and Dagger, of course you know where your last zone is because you laid it. That's where you're usually going to stand wherever you drop that. But when you're in the heat of a fight and you have a Cloak and Dagger on your team, and then they drop the healing zone, you don't even usually see where they start the ult. So you just kind of start stepping on the spots and trying to figure out where exactly you're going to be. And then you think you're getting healed and all of a sudden it disappears out from underneath you because the last spot is on the other side of the map or whatever the heck they last left it. So now it's going to just make it a lot easier to be read by your whole team. So that's awesome. Just telegraphing that a lot better. Invisible Woman. Just decrease her Guardian Shield from 300 to 250. So, once again, what I was saying about using her, you don't want to throw that shield out, especially like on your tanks and stuff, and then leave it out in front of them or out in the open. You want to try to find somebody else, like usually your other healer that's with you, throw the shield up in front of them, and then just keep it in the back line. And then you can use it yourself and try to get yourself some heals off whenever you don't have that invincibility ready. But you just want to keep that shield up as long as possible. That's going to be where the bulk of your healing comes from. Outside of using the ult too. Let's see. Loki. Increase the regeneration domain cooldown from 25 seconds to 30 seconds. Needed. That Loki is probably the second best strategist in the game. He doesn't have... It's all because his ult is either really good or it's really bad, depending on what the comp of both teams look like. Woo, had a little coughing fit there. My sick kid's probably getting to me. But yeah, when it comes to Loki, he's either really, really good or he's really, really bad, depending on what's going on with team comp. If he has no good healer or even an offensive ult to copy and use at the same time, it's not really great because his healing is in a burst heal. But those domains, oh my god, dude, they're the worst because it takes forever to kill those damn crystals. Nothing one-shots those crystals that I've seen yet, unless it's like, I don't know, like a Hawkeye arrow or something. But whenever I use like Magneto or something and I go to destroy those little runes, sometimes even if you try to destroy it with something that has as much power as a Magneto primary attack, it's still going to do some kind of AoE damage and it's going to heal, and then all they got to do is step into the next one, and you got to do all this first. And while you're trying to do it all, other people are shooting at him, they're getting those heals off, and he's just charging his ult, and it's just, oh, dude, it's so crazy how effective that one ability is. Let's see. Mantis, strategy over speed. So they're reducing her health from, oh, she's at 250 now. Okay. And the effects of healing flower and allied inspiration can be stacked up to a maximum of 16 seconds. Damn. So you can just buff somebody and just fuck off for 16 seconds. You don't have to kind of stay up on anybody. You can just buff them real quick and then go off to another side and know that they have an attack buff for 16 seconds. That's crazy. Hell yeah. And then Rocket Raccoon. Oh, man. How wonderful is this? He's getting... Actually, this is really great. He's getting a lot more utility. That's going to help out and make it not as painful to have him on your team. Because I trust me, I know. I've been a Rocket hater in the past, but he is useful. But now that he doesn't have that team up with Winter Soldier anymore, that sees a lot of decrease in his utility. Even though the one with Punisher is still really good, just Punisher on his own, outside of having that little buff, isn't really the strongest character either. So you just really want to have that little buff to have that shotgun, and then Punisher's just going to do what Punishers do. But look at this. So the spheres now have a decrease in the healing area, so they can't just bounce around all over the place. And you have to actually pretty much aim them now, which probably isn't a problem. But the effect of the healing is actually, oh, a one-time healing of 55 allies per hit. So now he's gonna actually he's a real healer. He's not just giving you health per second slowly over time. He's actually burst healing you at the same time. So that's awesome. And then they reduce the projectile speed from 4.5 to 7 meters per second, and that's probably just gonna pretty much help just aim them and make sure they're going where you want them to go. But also, so you're not just shooting out a million of them and having them bounce all over the room. Let's see. The jetpack dash has been extended, so he doesn't get to get away as fast. You better get good at your wall crawls. Wall crawls. Weird little phrase to say. Wall crawl. Reducing the dash distance from 10 meters to 8 meters. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I can just feel my sinuses just getting stuffed up. Oh, this is lovely. Lovely. Sick kids, man. You got to love them. Reduce CYA ultimate ability. So the damage boost goes down from 40% to 25, but now he also gives 100 bonus health per second? Wait, I thought it was just like a one-time little stack on there. So it caps at 150. At most, everybody can walk around with 150 health extra. So they can be bursted down by something like an Iron Man ult or whatever, but you're going to be healing 100 bonus health a second. That is crazy. So that's a real support ult now. And after breaking the link, the bonus starts to fall off after 1 second. So it's shield. So after 1 second at a rate of 75 per second. So you have it for 3 seconds afterwards, after you get out of the area of effect for the ult. Additionally, increase the energy cost from 3,700 to 4,000, so it's going to take longer to charge. Fair. Very fair. Very good boost to Rocket Raccoon. Very good. All right, all the fun stuff. Fun. So Arcane Order, we know that's Doctor Strange or Scarlet Witch. And then Doctor Strange gets 100 bonus health, and then we get that burst damage from Scarlet Witch, which is super crazy. Stars Align, Captain America, Winter Soldier, they get a team up, and they get to have basically Captain America gets 100 health and 5% damage boost. Oh, no wonder he got so many survivability nerfs. So I didn't know he was getting a damage boost too. And then Winter Soldier gets this like jump, and they showed I have it in this video over here, or at least this one over here. They showed in the video they jumped towards each other, and I wonder if they did like double damage because they had like squished the enemy in between each other. I don't know. It's weird, but that's his new team up. Mental projection with Emma Frost and Psylocke and Magneto. We saw that earlier, and then of course Emma gets 100 health. And then adjusted or removed. So Rocket Raccoon, Winter Soldier no longer exist. Luna Snow and Namor no longer exist because Namor is now with Bruce. Magic and Psylocke, that one no longer exists because Psylocke is now with Emma. And then Gamma Charge, Hulk, and Doctor Strange because what we just said before. And now Doctor Strange is with Scarlet Witch. And then Metallic Chaos, Scarlet Witch, and Magneto. I loved that though. I loved that so much. That giant freaking sword. But this is going to be an even better cooler team up. And it's going to pretty much guarantee that Magneto has a really good tank with him, which is what he needs. He absolutely needs that. But it still allows him to play off tank, and he can play off tank at distance now. So I'm so excited for that. I'm so freaking excited for that. And then we'll take Union, Thor, and Captain America, and Storm. That doesn't oh, that's for everybody too. Wait. Yeah, Captain America loses that team up. So that's what I was talking about earlier, but I guess I was wrong on that. I forgot that one was taken away. And then Storm loses the Charge Gale with her team up with Thor. So that's completely gone. All right, cool. So, damn, what does Thor have now? I mean, I guess Thor just has his team up with Loki and Hela. Man, oh man. Very cool. Well, that's all of our stuff, man. Let me see if I can get this pulled up here for you guys before we go about... Let's see. Team ups. So much cool stuff in here, man. So much. Like I said, the main takeaways from this is that they wanted to, at least from director Guang here, he wanted to say that we are getting the new team up abilities. He also talked about us having 2 heroes per season with a 2-month season, so that equates to 1 hero per month. So that, just so you guys understand, that's 6 seasons a year, 12 heroes a year. This game isn't going to have a solid meta ever. Like, it's going to always be changing, and I wonder if they're going to start rotating heroes out, because I genuinely do not understand how this is going to be maintained. I don't understand how this pacing is going to be with this game, but this is a huge amount of content that they're going to be pretty much promising to deliver at this point. So let's see here, roadmap.
Since the launch of season,
I wonder if he has a nice little graphic for me.
As it has been since December. To a certain extent, we agree. Upon reflection, we believe the core mission of Marvel Rivals should always be to bring new modes internally, writing Marvel heroes.
So they're looking at new
Marvel
modes.
New heroes debuting each month.
So this is where he's talking about the hero
The
each
real
month.
Season. To address this issue,
They
we
talked
are
about the battle pass
implementing
where
weekly
they're
missions
just having weekly
alongside
missions,
the
because
existing
if you
daily
miss your
missions
dailies and you
challenges.
miss some of your daily challenges, it's going to be hard for you to make up the chrono tokens you need to finish out your battle pass. Even though you can go back and you can add and get those rewards from past battle passes, but you still want to, in case you wanted to try to catch up, you're going to have something that at least lingers a little while, and that should make up the difference that you would have normally lost from not doing your dailies.
Season 2, we're excited to announce that
This is really cool as well. The color options for the skins, so that way you can have even more customization. Like, this is dope. But you know that they're going to be selling that. That ain't for free, buddy. Oh my god. These people are going to make $1 million a day, a second.
And Season 1 will no longer be separate videos to your local
Tournament plans, and they're saying that your
changes to team up abilities.
plays are going to be gone. All right, here we go. Here's our boy.
Emma Frost stands as the team-up anchor, allowing Psylocke and Magneto to call on the White Queen's psionic abilities to create
Just look at it.
projections. At the heart of this
Just
pairing,
nuts.
Doctor Strange shares his arcane mastery with Scarlet
See,
Witch,
here she goes with her
imbuing
shotgun
her
ability,
chaos energy with a
and she
new
can do her
mind-bending
regular attack
magical
at the same
ability.
time. At the
Captain
same time.
America's unwavering courage and unbreakable camaraderie inspire Winter Soldier to lift towards allies at critical moments.
See, here's
And
the
this
leap, but we didn't
utterly
see any
relentless
health right here, so we don't know how much damage this does.
Finding some changing.
And then this is where we
Doctor
talked about
Strange is
the
stepping
team ups
back from
here.
Gamma Charge. One and more will be joining the party.
So yeah, only Black Panther and Magic are going to be together. And then Rocket Raccoon with Punisher, Jeff with Luna, and then Namor joining the Gamma Squad here.
With the ability to analysis backed by community and up, this setup gains increased thing in the Triple Vanguard lineup. With Magneto's damage and up, this setup gains increased initiative on flanks and enhanced pressure capabilities. Moreover, a pair of control-driven ultimates abilities synergizing with Magneto's out against standard double strategies lineups can deliver staggering burst damage, overriding enemy healing. His ultimate while the
Yeah, so they're
Winter
basically
Soldier
doing this
utilizes
just
the
because
damage
games
from
have been
his
getting real
main
slow.
weapon
So
to
they're giving us
rapidly
more
chip
damage. They're
away
giving us
at
more
health
ways to dive. They're giving us
before
more ways to
finishing
get in
off
there and
enemies
really
with
box
his
it
own
out.
ultimate ability. This is exactly the kind
And that's what
we are aware
makes
that
the game
some
fun. That's what
people
makes the
balance
engagements in the
adjustments,
fights exciting.
competitive edge, and Moon Knight season and custom games.
Oh, poor supports. Poor support players. This is going to be a tough meta to live in, man. This is going to be so tough.
We know many of you are interested in the distribution of players across the season.
So check this out. This is going to be really
To
cool.
satisfy your curiosity, please enjoy this detailed histogram that lays it all out.
Look at this, guys. No. Brother, this is crazy. This is everybody. I'm pretty sure this is the entire competitive roster across like all platforms. And look at where the player population is. And see, this is why, for you guys right here, this is why I make my videos. Even for some of you guys right here. I'm trying to get here, but I've been at Diamond 1. I'm telling you, hard stuck at Diamond 1, and I'm just trying to get up out of there. I'm hoping I can do it next week, but this is how many players, and this is why I hate when people come in my comments and they're like, oh, you're just Diamond. Oh, you just don't, you just know this. Dude, look at how many people aren't even Diamond. I'm just trying to get more people to be in my rank so then I can go ahead and move on, because we're all in here making the same mistakes, because you start to play these games, you start to mix in a little bit with people, you get people that go from this point to this point without really even having to try as hard, but depending on which character they're using, and you see a lot of technical and just skill errors when it comes to understanding how to play a good role and understanding how to play your team comp the way that you need to play your team comp. And that's why I'm main tank. A tank's job is to make the rest of the team look good, and to also just kind of just be that leader, just to take charge of the flow of the game. And that's how I've gotten up to this point, but you just want a lot more people to be able to have an enjoyable experience that are over here on this side. And that's why I'm glad another thing that they noted that I skipped past, they're going to introduce bans to gold. And that's going to start in gold 3 of all places, in gold 3. So what's going to happen here, I'm already in Diamond 1. I'm going to drop down to Silver 1. The moment I hit gold, we're going to start hitting those bans, and then people are going to be able to pick and choose which bans get used to banning which characters and understanding how different characters can be oppressive, and then they don't have to suffer through all of whatever ability is the most busted, whatever ability in team up is the most oppressive that season, at least a little less through here. And people are punished for being one tricks right here, punished for it. You see a lot more swap offs and Diamond, but there are still a lot of people that don't even know what to do when it comes to voting systems and understanding which characters they want to get rid of. Whenever we're sitting down and we're in that lobby and we're trying to decide which characters we're going to play and which ones are going to ban, there's nothing I hate more than when people can't at least like scroll through, show what characters they're cool with. I try to do that whenever I'm playing. I try to go through and I highlight a lot of the vanguards, I highlight some of the supports in the little time that you can do it. And then when it comes to voting, they have no idea what to vote for. They just automatically go for Spider-Man because they don't know what to do against Spider-Man. They automatically go for Wolverine. It's me going for Wolverine as a Vanguard man because they don't know what to do with Wolverine. But now with Emma Snow, or Emma Frost, I am not scared of Wolverine. I am going to punt his little feral ass out of my face and make sure that he doesn't mess with me again. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be really fun. But yeah, that's what you're looking at for the statistics. That's why I make the videos I make. I make it for you guys over here. And I want you to know that you can get right here too. It takes some practice. It takes some beating your head against the wall. You got to learn some hard lessons. But if you're willing to go through it, anybody can accomplish this. If anything, they're showing that they care about you guys down here, but they also care about these people up here. And it's hard to show it, but I'm hoping that their plan with releasing so many characters is to shake up the meta often enough to where over here we can get a little bit more diversity. So that's that.
In closing,
I believe that's the last thing they had to show. Yep, that's it. So that's going to be it for tonight's stream, guys. Like I said, this is an awkward setup that we have going on tonight, and I really want to make sure that I can get some kind of content out for you that's short form too over the weekend. I'm going to be working on that in the background. Hopefully, we are going to be back in our normal setup next week, and I can do something, and I'm not going to hopefully be on the onset of getting sick because I feel like I sound terrible. I can feel my sinuses just swelling up. But other than that, I hope that you guys are excited. Oh, next week we also have season 2. Duh, April 11th. That's the next stream, baby. Friday. Let's go. Or actually, that's the Thursday because that's where Reset is. But you already know how it's going to be. It hits at freaking 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast. So next Friday, we're going to be doing all new season stuff. We're going to have some fun. We're going to look at all these things. Ultron is going to be coming soon too. I'm actually excited for him. I'm not going to talk about him because we've only known what he can do from leaks so far. So I'm not going to talk about those things, but we will have Emma. We're going to try to play her as much as possible. I'm just saying right now, all you duelists that never want to play tank, I better not see your hands on Emma at all. I better not see it. Y'all better play all your other characters, and you better let me get this. And you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't hate it if I didn't get her because now I can just play Magneto and play with his new team up and have so much fun with that. So yeah, no matter what, we're going to have a fucking ball next week. So I'm super excited for that. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. You guys know I love you, and I appreciate all the support that you always give me on my content. And I hope to keep making good content for you guys. I'm sorry I sound like shit. I'm sorry for the setup, but I will see you guys next Friday. Peace and love, and take care of yourselves. Peace.